Well, I'll be damned, man. Considering that this computer that I'm using um, has the older version of Ryzen. It has Ryzen 5, but it's a 2018 Ryzen 5, which is still good. It has 3.8 gigahertz, 8 cores, but it's not like as fast as this current version of Ryzen. But this Radeon 5700 XT, I'm hitting right now 70 frames per second. This is native 4K at medium settings, and that's pretty darn good. The fact that I can hit native 4K at 70 frames per second with medium settings and the image sharpening turned on with HDR. Remember, this is native 4K, HDR, image sharpening, and medium settings. To hit 70 FPS, that's pretty darn good, man. Pretty darn good. It's like super fast. Really super fast. And here, just to show you that I'm not BSing, that I'm running at 70 FPS here, you guys can look at it. Now it's 50, but it goes up to 70. Here, you'll see it. Now it's 60. Here, just so you guys can see it here. Look, 79 frames per second. There we go, 78. Pretty impressive, dude, for this graphics card. You know, this is not even, you know, we're not talking about 2080. If this was a 2080 Ti or 2080 Super, then fine, you know, but we're talking about a Radeon 5700 XT, and it really runs smooth, man. Here, maybe I can play through a level a little bit here. Just kind of like walk around. Just to show you. And yeah, this is in 4K HDR, just so you guys know. Let me show you. There you go. 4K HDR. There it is. You can also switch to 120 Hertz here if you want, but you know, the idea is 4K HDR. Here I'm gonna do some running here really quick, just so you guys can see. 60 FPS, dude. 60, steady 60 FPS right here. For native 4K, with image sharpening and HDR, with medium settings. I'm good with that, dude. Because remember, the image sharpening, it's gonna enhance the texture detail even further on top of the native 4K that you already have. So it runs surprisingly good, man. Really good. And it's kind of maybe hard to see that through a camera, but hopefully you guys can see, or get some idea at least to what I'm trying to show you here. Look, what I'm trying to say is I'm impressed that I can get 60, 65, there's 66, 65 frames per second to 70, 65 to 70 frames per second. That's pretty darn good, guys, for a native 4K. This is native 4K, no checkerboarding, no dynamic resolution, full native 4K with image sharpening and HDR. Okay. Now people ask me, how do you turn on the image sharpening? It's really simple. The game has to utilize it. It just so happens that this game, it's utilizing image sharpening. So all you have to do, go to the options, click on the options, go to the visuals, and just go up here to where it says Fidelity FX Sharpening and turn it back on. There you go, and you're good to go. And that's the beauty about this, you know, the fact that you can get 60 plus frames per second with native 4K and image sharpening and HDR with medium settings. That's pretty darn good, if you ask me, for this graphics card. Okay, and you definitely notice that image sharpening, you know, it definitely adds to the detail. And now I'm hitting 70 frames per second over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but now it's 70 frames per second right over there. There it is, 70. Hey, this is with the image sharpening, dude. With image sharpening. Pretty darn good. Well, there you have it, guys. I don't know if there's anything else I can show you here other than what I just have shown you. Look, man, this is pretty darn good for this graphics card. I'm very impressed how it runs, and let's face it, the PC version is probably going to be your best bet, especially if you have AMD. This image sharpening, it's something you have to see for yourself, just how it enhances. Okay, imagine this. You already got native 4K, you already got HDR, and on top of that, you got this image sharpening that enhances the textures that you already have on top of that native 4K. So anyway, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might do a live stream of this just to show it to you how it looks in native 4K, so you guys can see the image sharpening. But remember, you're not going to be seeing 60 frames per second. You're going to be seeing 30 frames per second because my capture card cannot handle the 4K 60, only 4K 30. Alright, so. But look, the bottom line is this. Yeah, AMD Radeon, it runs pretty smooth. The Navi GPU and 5700 XT runs perfectly on this Borderlands 3. And remember, this is native 4K, HDR, and image sharpening turned on. Okay, and it looks, I mean, now I'm hitting 70 frames per second, dude, which is pretty darn good. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. But remember, it's medium settings. It's medium settings. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.